Good afternoon, Mr. Kganyago.
Good afternoon, the Chief Justice and honorable members of the Commission.
You hold a B.Proc degree
Correct.
from which university?
University of the North by then, but now is University of Limpopo.
Limpopo.
Correct.
And a Bachelor of Laws degree also.
Correct.
From which university?
Same university.
The Master of Laws?
Vista University, now it is been combined with UNISA.
Oh, okay, all right. And did you do your master's program through coursework or a dissertation or a combination of both?
It's a combination of both.
Yes. What was your dissertation on?
The
What
dissertation,
was it about?
if I remember, is that I did not have time to refresh myself. I did not expect that.
Sorry.
I did not have I did not have time to refresh on that. But if I
Mine
remember,
was on labor law.
yes, it was on labor law. Correct. It was on labor law.
Okay, all right. And you've been an attorney for about 22 years, is that correct?
Correct.
What was your area, or what were your areas of emphasis in practice?
When I did my articles, basically we were doing third-party matters. And as a black attorney, I just wanted to get away on that notion that blacks only do a third-party matter, and then I wanted to diversify my practice. That's why I've enrolled with Rao for the insolvency practice. I then started doing the insolvency practice, and the LLM in labor law started doing labor law. And then later, there was an advert of the company's tribunals, and then I applied, and then I'm also a member of the company's tribunal. Also a member of the SARS appeal board.
Yeah.
Because basically they were saying blacks were not doing the commercial work. So I just wanted to do away with that notion.
So you've been doing commercial work, doing labor, doing insolvencies?
Correct.
Okay. And did your role as the senior commissioner of the CCMA prepare you for the position you're applying for?
Partly correct.
How? Very briefly.
Basically, when you write awards, it's similar to writing judgments. You are dealing with evidence, you are dealing with arguments, and that has helped me also when I act to be able to write judgments, because already I was involved in the analysis of evidence and arguments, and writing awards. It's just that now the template or the format has changed. It was at a more complex level.
Were some of the awards you made taken up to the labor court?
Correct, even up to labor appeal court.
On average, how did you fare?
One of the labor appeal court awards, whilst I was doing research, I've seen that it was confirmed.
Only one?
That is the one which I came across when I was doing some research at the labor appeal court.
Okay, all right. Others?
There was another one which I remember. It was Coca-Cola and another employee which was set aside at the labor court.
But by and large, you were doing well.
Correct.
And you were enjoying yourself there.
Correct.
Yes. And the tax appeal board, did you have to write anything?
Correct. I was also writing some decisions there at the tax appeal board.
Yes. What kind of issues did you deal with at that level, very briefly? Is it a complaint that people were not properly taxed, or what was it? Did it involve tax law as such, or not necessarily?
Yeah, it was involving tax law as such. The one which, the last one which I remember that I did, it was whether the money which was generated from farming, whether it forms part of the income, and then I have to decide.
Generated from?
From farming.
I see.
It was partly farming on cattle, and also game farm, and also crop farming.
Yes.
And there was a loss on other because of the snow on the crop farming.
Yes.
So he wanted to make a set off out of the income which he made
Yes.
out of gaming.
Yes.
Yes.
Did you enjoy that too?
Yes, because it was a new field of law. I also enjoyed it.
And the disciplinary hearings of attorneys, did you have to write something, or was it more like this is the outcome without much reasoning going into the equivalent of a judgment or something?
Usually we were sitting as 3 members and I was part of the member who will deliberate on the issue and the chairperson will write the decision which is either we agree with him or we don't, and then it will go to the council for adoption.
Would it be a brief, would you give brief reasons or long?
It's brief reasons.
Brief reasons. Okay. You acted both in Gauteng division of the High Court and the Limpopo division of the High Court, is that correct?
Correct.
For how long in Gauteng?
It was a combination because in a term you find that you spend 2 weeks in Polokwane, 2 weeks in Thohoyandou, Gauteng, it will be Pretoria and Joburg. But all in all, if I calculate them, they come to 77 weeks.
77 weeks for both Gauteng and Limpopo.
Correct.
Was it a fulfilling experience?
Yeah, in Gauteng, there was a diversity of cases where some were more complex and they build you and they were challenging.
Not so in Limpopo.
No, not necessarily not so in Limpopo. Limpopo, they are, but the variety of cases which are in Gauteng is not comparable to the one in Limpopo.
Okay. Very well, JP.
Good morning, Mr. Kganyago.
Morning, JP.
During your stint of acting, my calculation gives me 15 months, more or less. You talk in terms of 77 weeks, whatever it may be. What did you mainly deal with in terms of the branches of law?
Mainly, it was opposed motions, civil trials, agent court, and to a limited extent, criminal work.
Would you then say, you talk of limited extent, would you say that you've got enough working knowledge in terms of the criminal trials?
With criminal work, I've been a practicing attorney where I was trained to be a criminal lawyer. It is myself who decided to diversify my practice. I don't have any problem with criminal work.
Do you have any reserve judgment with you since you've been acting? I know you've been acting up to April this year.
Not April, it's up to the 26th of February.
February, rather, yeah.
Correct.
Do you have any reserve judgment and or part-head cases?
The part-head cases which I'm having is in a criminal court. But for any other matters, I don't have any reserve judgments.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. CJ.
Thank you, JP. If you could switch off your mic, and then Mr. Singh.
Thank you, CJ. Mr. Kganyago, on page 14 of your questionnaire, you refer to, at 9.4, you refer to 2 judgments that were set aside by the SCA.
Correct.
Would you be in a position to briefly let this forum know why those judgments were set aside?
The first one was in relation to a case which emanated from the Gauteng. It was a third court case wherein it was a tender, and they were challenged it in terms of perjury, and the court stated that it was not supposed to have been challenged in terms of perjury. And then the second one, it was in relation to malicious prosecution. Also, it was emanating from the Thohoyandou High Court, wherein I've upheld the claim of the plaintiff and it was set aside on appeal.
Okay, thank you. The second question, I see you have business interests in 6 companies, and the question that follows that on your questionnaire on page 12 at point 2 is that if you're appointed, you will resign as member.
Correct.
I see then early on in your questionnaire you say that you're a member of the ANC.
Correct.
Yes, fine, yes. How do you see this perception if you had to sit as a judge, that you're a member of the ANC? Do you think that will install confidence in the public appearing before you?
We were born from somewhere, and in our youth, we belong to certain organization, and there was nowhere in which we can belong to nowhere. And then if I'm appointed, I will resign as a member of the ANC, and the members of the public will have confidence on me. I don't see that as a problem.
Thank you, Chief Justice.
Thank you, Mr. Singh. You are excused, Mr. Kganyago. Well, I didn't see. Oh, Mr. Singh, Commissioner Singh.
Sorry, it was an echo of that thing, Chief Justice. Sorry, just a follow-up question on the affiliation to a political organization.
Yes.
I mean, you say that you will resign when appointed, but you've acted for 77 weeks, sitting there in that capacity, and when you're an acting judge, you're a judge, for all intents and purposes. So didn't you see that there might be some confliction here in your responsibility and your impartiality while sitting as an acting judge, which has a full responsibility of being a judge?
Ever since I started acting, I was not actively involved in any activities of the organization, and I've never attended a meeting. What I was disclosing is that at this stage I have not yet resigned.
Commissioner Semenya. Oh, yes, Commissioner.
Chief Justice, thank you. Mr. Kganyago, good day to you.
Good day, Honorable Member.
You mentioned that in your acting, you acted in the urgent court. How did that happen?
Correct, I've acted in the agent court. It was in Joburg.
How did you find it?
Phew, it was very challenging, because I remember it was in 2 weeks in succession where the Joburg role was very hectic, but I did manage it. I even remember that the senior judge whom I was allocated with him was very impressed the way I've handled the agent court.
You say the matter before the SCA, or about which the SCA overturned your judgment, related to a tender, and you say the SCA said you should not have approached the matter in terms of PAJA. I don't follow that.
Correct. What basically the matter was challenged in terms of PAJA, and then when I read the judgment of the SCA, it stated that because this matter was challenged in terms of PAJA, the claim was supposed to have dismissed on that basis only, because PAJA in that particular case was not supposed to have been followed, because the action was in relation to procurement and it's not an administrative action.
A word of a tender is not administrative action, the SCA is saying.
It is saying it was in relation to procurement, and procurement is not an administrative action.
Okay, Chief Justice, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner Semenya. Commissioner Fourie.
Thank you, Chief Justice. Good afternoon, Mr. Kganyago.
Good afternoon, Honorable Member.
I must reveal that I know you well. Amongst others, we serve on the Council of the Law Society of the Northern Provinces together.
Correct.
Just one question. You've acted extensively.
Correct.
But you also indicate in your questionnaire that you are a sole practitioner.
Correct.
And I always wonder how one is able to deal with both those situations. On the one hand, acting extensively, and the other one being a sole practitioner. What happens to your practice when you're out of office for such an extensive period of time?
Fortunately, I'm having a reliable PA, whom even at this stage is running the show.
And are you satisfied that the practice are being attended to properly?
Correct. There's no complaint which I've received in my absentia.
Thank you, Chief Justice.
And by the way, by PA, you don't mean your secretary. It's your professional assistant.
But it is an admitted attorney. It's not my secretary nor a candidate attorney. It's an admitted
I
attorney.
thought I needed to clear that one. Commissioner Mutimela?
Thank you, CJ. Good afternoon, Mr. Kganyago.
Good afternoon, honorable member.
The definition of a judge includes that of an acting judge. Would you agree?
Correct.
Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Kganyago, you're excused.